Welcome to the Wisdom Palmistry channel. In today's video, I will share with you a special palm line, the X-shaped line, a sign that carries many fascinating meanings for its owner. In fact, when analyzing palmistry in particular, or metaphysics and fate studies in general, many people, from beginners to those who have studied for many years, often make the mistake of drawing conclusions too hastily from just a single sign. The X-shaped palm line is no exception. Although this is a special sign, in order to make an accurate judgment, we still need to combine it with many other indicators. Otherwise, the interpretation will be based on luck and chance, lacking a solid foundation. The X-shaped palm line lies at the intersection of two important lines, the heart line and the head line. To be considered clear and meaningful in interpretation, this X line must be bold, sharp, and not overlapped or broken by other palm lines. Since it is located at the center point between emotions and reason, the person who possesses this line is often someone who has a balance between feelings and rationality. They are delicate, understanding, flexible in their thinking, and know how to respond and handle situations in a reasonable and sensible way. As a result, they are often loved and trusted by those around them. That is the basic meaning of the X-shaped palm line. However, the ancients also concluded two especially important points about this sign through many generations of empirical observation. First, a person with the X-shaped palm line is often kind-hearted, compassionate, and has a benevolent nature. They are willing to help those in difficulty or trouble without expecting any repayment or personal benefit. Because of this kindness, they are often easily taken advantage of. When someone asks to borrow money or invites them to invest in a joint venture, they often find it hard to refuse, and as a result, they are likely to lose everything and find it hard to get it back. Therefore, except for truly trustworthy relatives, they should learn how to say no at the right time to avoid losing both money and relationships. Notably, the period of financial loss or bankruptcy often occurs before the age of 40, when their life experience and worldview are still not mature enough. However, to confirm this further, we need to examine the shape of the heart line. If the heart line is short and faint, then the good qualities mentioned above may only be superficial. In that case, the person tends to be hypocritical, appearing kind and caring on the outside, but internally full of calculations and self-interest. Only when the heart line is long and gently curved does it truly reflect the kind, selfless, and positive heart as previously described. Or if this person has many gaps between their fingers, it reflects a generous, easygoing, and open-minded personality, but also indicates a tendency to overspend and use money based on emotion. Therefore, encountering financial losses or bankruptcy due to trusting friends is completely understandable. On the contrary, if the hand is tightly closed, with no gaps between the fingers, then this is a person who is calculating, cautious, and very difficult to deceive in financial matters. Additionally, if a prajna pattern appears in the area of the lifeline, it further reinforces the kind-hearted and conscientious nature of the person. However, it also reflects that this person often suffers from inner turmoil, emotional pain, and bears burdens due to emotional attachments and responsibilities toward others. We can also observe the Mount of Apollo. If this mount is full and slightly raised, it not only indicates favorable conditions in fame and career, but also shows that this person lives joyfully, positively, frequently helps those in need, and is often loved by people around them. From the small signs mentioned above, it is clear that when analyzing the X-shaped palm line, we need to combine many other indicators to correctly and deeply understand the person who possesses it. Another outstanding feature of those with the X-shaped palm line is their highly sensitive intuition. They have the ability to sense unusual things around them that ordinary people often cannot detect. This is a sign of a well-developed sixth sense, helping them understand others' psychology and sometimes even perceive things before they happen. Therefore, they are very well suited for studying spiritual and metaphysical disciplines, and often can go far in this field. Thanks to their faith and virtuous lifestyle, they are frequently supported by noble benefactors, those who quietly help them in times of difficulty, enabling them to overcome danger with luck and even escape critical situations unscathed. However, as mentioned at the beginning, To make a more accurate assessment, we should still observe additional supporting signs on the palm. For example, if a triangle appears on the Mount of Apollo, this indicates a person with high education, many talents, and a special interest in mystical and spiritual studies. They live virtuously, love to help others, and contribute to life. This further reinforces the positive meaning of the X-shaped palm line. Or, if there are parallel lines on the lifeline, also known as benefactor lines, this person is often supported during great misfortunes. Even when facing life and death situations, they can overcome them thanks to benefactors, whether visible or invisible. Another sign, if the headline extends long and tends to slope downward toward the Mount of Moon, it reflects a person with a delicate, sensitive soul, with talent in researching abstract, mystical subjects, and with potential to advance far on the spiritual path. Or, if a phoenix eye pattern appears on the thumb between the first and second phalanges, it is a sign of someone with high intuition, accurate judgment, and a very strong sixth sense. And that is how we need to combine multiple elements when analyzing the X-shaped palm line. Because a single sign can reflect many different aspects, only when evaluating the whole hand can we make the most accurate conclusion. This is the logic and science that physiognomy aims for. This video ends here. Goodbye, and see you again in the next interesting sharing.